This is my audience. Imagine imagine living day by day and working 7 days a week, working overtime. Yeah, your kids are starving. You cannot afford anything. Unfortunately, this is the reality of millions of Americans living today. The federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour, which means in most states that would barely buy a burrito from Chipotle. Because of rising inflation, the dollar is less than before it was in back in old times. There's a famous quote that says nobody who works 40 hours a week should be living on the poverty line. Today, my speech is going to be about why we should lift the federal minimum wage in the United States to at least $12 or the max $15 an hour, which will lift millions out of poverty. So I have another question for you guys. How many of you have worked a job and only got paid an hourly rate of $7.25 or $7.50? Usually it will be most of us at one point in our lives or another has worked a minimum wage job at some point. Raising minimum wage would boost the economy in many various ways. According to research by the Economic Policy Institute, increasing federal minimum wage will deliver pay increases to nearly 32 million people in the United States. That is almost 30% of the workforce, lower the poverty rate by 60%, so the average worker would earn an extra $3,300 per year. This would be a huge impact on not just the economy, but would have an impact on every worker's lives. Workers would be able to afford paying for elder care for their parents or older relative. They won't have to find a second job to provide for childcare or buy food, and they won't have to cut back on expenses. Additionally, people often think minimum wage as an economic issue, but that's not always the case. It is also an issue of health and well-being. It can boost better health and well-being in people. It can boost moral morale with workers and jobs. As a result, building morale will boost job satisfaction, give workers more leisure time to spend time with family and go on vacations. Now, I want to go back to something that I said earlier at the beginning. Raising minimum wage can reduce poverty also. Over the years, there's been a statistical link between economic growth and poverty rates. But hiding income disparities between the rich and the poor has become gradually higher over time, which basically ended that. By raising minimum wage, it could be critical to offset market inequalities and racial disparities between Black and Spanish people. To conclude, while there are many positive reasons why raising minimum wage is good, today I wanted to give 3 specific reasons why it would help people and the workforce. Again, help with the economy by giving people more money in their pocketbooks, reducing poverty and racial inequalities, and better health and moral reasons. This is my audience again.